Hello, very good morning to you. Welcome back to the Crucible Theatre here in Sheffield. Day 9, remarkably, of the 2017 Betfred World Snooker Championship. 2 more second round matches get underway from scratch today. 4 men already through to the quarterfinals.
Ronnie was just a little bit too good.
Ding Junhui goes into the quarter-final, where we play Ronnie O'Sullivan.
What a performance. He's a very modest young man, but he's a very, very confident young man.
What a performance from John Higgins. He's back to his best, in my opinion.
And this is the second round draw as it stands. It's always top-class action here at the Crucible, but I don't know. A very good morning to Ken Doherty. I don't know about you, but some of the snooker has been scintillating in this first week, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I was commentating on the Mark Allen-John Higgins match last night. What a fantastic match that was. It really was. John Higgins playing virtuoso snooker, and some of the clearances he made, you know, the one from 58 behind to clear up with 60, the one from 70 behind to clear up with 72. 2 frames that turned the whole match on its head, and it was a real sublime finish for John Higgins.
How much are you looking forward to Neil Robertson taking on Marco Fu?
Yeah.
Some would say we're rather surprised that Marco is in the second round, given the fact that he almost crashed out against Luca Purcell, Ken.
Well, that may give him inspiration, you know, because I'm sure he would have packed his bags ready to go home and then give it a go and see what happens, but came back remarkably well. We've had a long history of great comebacks at the Crucible, and that was certainly one of them. Neil Robertson performed very admirably in the first round as well, and he's prone to a few Crucible comebacks himself. This is going to be a cracking match. 2 players in great form.
Do you share the same view as John Parrott in round 1? Neil Robertson not really tested in the first round, and this is an entirely different match.
Yeah, not really tested, but still looked very, very good, very sharp, you know, scored very, very heavily, and hasn't had the best of seasons by his own standards, Neil Robertson, but come the Crucible, you know, he's always up for it. Of course, he was a winner here before, so bags of experience, but I'm really, really looking forward to this match against Marco Fu. I think it's going to be a cracker.
Yeah, me too. Thank you very much indeed for now, Ken. The one thing you can be sure of when these 2 players meet, it'll be high quality. They first met in 2008.
Yeah, very happy with my game. I've been practicing, really hard coming in here. I've never practiced harder coming into World Championships before, so I've done everything right. Sort of regardless of performances, at least I know I'm, coming here, I've done everything I can.
Since the UK, I think I've been playing quite consistently, just producing the type of consistency that I wanted to, and yeah, that's the most important thing, especially coming into the World Championships.
Yeah, Marco's been playing snooker of his career, and unbelievable season really. So you look at the draw, the players left, and there aren't sort of too many players that you can look at the draw and think he's a good draw or anything like that. It's World Championships. Everyone fights to the death.
I think we play a similar type of game. We just want to get amongst the balls and hopefully do a one-visit clearance. Hopefully I can win frames as quickly as possible. So yeah, we try not to play too many safety shots, and yeah, we try to attack the game.
I'm quite happy to be sort of one of the lesser fancied. You know, you had like Ronnie, Judd and Selby ahead of me in the betting, and I'm more than happy to fly under the radar and quietly go about my business.
I'm sure it's going to be a tough challenge for me and for him as well. So it's going to be a very evenly matched contest. So hopefully I can go out there and play to my best and enjoy the occasion and hopefully come out as a winner.
Well, here are the players backstage. On table 2 in this wonderful arena, Barry Hawkins starts his second round match against Graham Dott. This is the first session, frames 1 to 8, and then all 4 players back tonight for the 7 o'clock session. So Rob Walker is at the London Marathon working. I don't know if he's running for BBC Television. Watch those hamstrings, Walker. Make sure you don't pull up. We need you back here tomorrow. So let's get the players out for today. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Crucible Theatre here in Sheffield. First up on table 2, a man who knows the sweet feeling of lifting one of the biggest prizes in world snooker at one of the great British sporting venues. The champion of 2006, who as a qualifier won 3 matches to get here, then dispatched Ali Carter in round 1. Please welcome the pride of Scotland, Graham Dott. Next up, it's a very special day for Mr. Barry Hawkins. Not only is he about to embark on another second round match here at the Crucible Theatre, but he'll be cracking open the champagne tonight, whatever happens, because it's his birthday. Would you please welcome... He did expect this. Would you please welcome the birthday boy, Barry Hawkins. We either do it or we do it properly. Happy birthday to Barry. On table 1, another former Crucible king, a former world #1 who made his 500th career century in the first round match and is looking to win the World Championship title again. He lifted the trophy, beating Graham Dott, sorry Graham, in 2010. Would you please welcome Neil Robertson. Next up, the world #8, who we all thought was heading home after the opening session of his first round match against Luca Brissell. But you never, ever write off this man. He remarkably turned it round, dug deep, and found his way into the second round. 3 times a world ranking title winner. Would you please welcome Marco Fu. What a fantastic atmosphere here at the Crucible. If you want to watch Barry Hawkins against Graham Dott in the company of Willie Thorne and Steve Davids, that's available on the BBC Sport website and BBC Sport app. But live here on BBC 2, a very good morning to John Virgo and Ken Doherty.
Good morning, Jason, and good morning, everybody. Lovely day here in Sheffield. Bit chilly, but the sun was shining.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The first frame, Neil Robertson to break.
As Jan Verhaas said, the first frame of this second round match, and well, two heavyweights here. Neil Robertson, former champion, Marco Fu. They played 11 times. It's just slightly in favour of Neil Robertson. He's won 6 against Marco's 5. But I think the most important stat for me, Ken, is the fact that ranking titles, Neil Robertson's won 12, Marco Fu won 3.
Yes, and of course the experience of actually winning here when Neil Robertson did that. A nice little fluke, and if he gets a kiss on the brown, it'll be even nicer. Yeah, he's got a lot more experience, of course, at the Crucible. Marco Fu, been here a long time as well. So I think the furthest he's got is a couple of semi-finals, but on his day, John, what a wonderful player Marco Fu is. One of the best scorers in the business.
Yeah, and Neil Robertson, who made his 500th career century in his last match, and Marco Fu, just looking on the stats, has made 449 in his career, so big scorers.
They're no slouches, are they? That is an incredible stat, a 500 century breaks. And of course, remember that year at the Crucible as well, where he completed the 100 centuries in one season. Was quite incredible.
It really was. Meanwhile, I'd not on earth a clue what Marco Fu was playing there. Well, it's not cost him. Well, it may have cost him. Where's that red going? The red's come out, and it's on. It's cuttable. He thought if he got close to the jaws that red has stayed at this end. How has it got back over the middle pocket? Needs a bit of luck with the position for the colour. Well, you got to pot the red first. Edgy start this from Marco.
A bit surprised at the shot that he played when he was on the balk line. Could have gone for the yellow instead of played that safety shot on the brown. So he looks a little bit nervous. Bound to have some sort of nerves beginning of this match, of course. Great opportunity for both players. And of course Marco. I mean, that first round, John, 7-1 down to Luca Brissell, finished the session 7-2. But what a remarkable comeback in the second session to get through that round, and it was amazing. I've had some great comebacks at the Crucible, and that was up there with some of them.
Yeah, you don't know how much that takes out. I agree with you. I think you get a victory like that and you might think, oh, this is my year.
Yeah.
Because you think you're out, so you relax. And he did play well to come back. He didn't just scrape over the line. He produced good snooker. But first few shots this morning, very average.
7.
And of course, when Neil Robertson won here in 2010 in his second round match against Martin Gould, he was 11-5 down, checked out a hotel, packed his bags, came down to play the last session of the match, didn't give himself too much of a chance, and ended up beating Martin Gould 13-12 and went on to win the tournament. So he'll pot this red into the corner
14.
pocket and may just play a little cannon on the red just above it. Doesn't have to, he can screw up just by the red as well, just be nicely on the black. He's played the little cannon, and that's okay.
$22. 23.
Hasn't had the best of seasons by his own standards, John. Neil Robertson. He won the Regan Masters back in June last year, so it's quite a long time.
30.
Normally at the business end of most tournaments, and normally wins 2 or 3 tournaments per season, but this year has been a bit of a famine for Neil Robertson.
Yeah, such a lovely striker of the ball, tremendous potter. Of course, there's a lot of tournaments now where best of 7s, and they don't, you know, in the
38.
grand scheme of things, I mean, that's just like playing 3 holes at golf, really. Anyone can win those.
39.
But I'm certainly, well, he's already said he's done a lot of preparation for this World Championship this year. This is a chance, a big chance to get his career back on track. Marco ranked 8 in the world, Neil 9. And you consider Neil was world number 1 for 3 years. Here's a drop down the ranking somewhat.
Just come a little straight on the black. Seemed to get a little bit of a big bounce off that side cushion. Well, I'm sure he can just force the black in just to get out for the red. Just above the black. He's got plenty of cue power now, Robertson. Decided to go back for the red into the left centre. Now has this
46.
red close to the cue ball, hampered his cueing here. There's his target. The sidebar, 69 he needs. For Marco.
Cue in this.
Yeah.
Oh, but considering that was an excellent shot. That could clinch the frame now. .53 ahead, 83 remaining.
54.
2 reds, 2 colours. Should be enough.
55. .62.
Red and the black would put him 69 points ahead with just 67 remaining.
.63.
Oh, that was frame ball, acknowledged by the crowd, and
70.
now we can concentrate on trying to make a century. It doesn't need the safe red. It's close to the left-hand centre pocket.
71.
These 2 reds, when he gets rid of the pink, will go on the brown spot, and these 2 reds will be potable into the bottom right-hand corner pocket. And he's always aware of making centuries, isn't he? He wants to
77.
keep going. He wants to catch up with the likes
78.
of Higgins and Stephen Hendry and even Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's one of these, well, being a fantastic player. He loves the history of the game, John, you know, and he loves the records.
85.
Yeah, and 2 reds, 2 blacks will get into the century, as you say, without having to play that awkward red near the left-hand side cushion.
I think this is one of these matches, John, and in this round particularly, that we may see a litany of big breaks and century breaks throughout this best of 25.
86.
And it would be nice to start off with one here. in the very first frame.
Just let that positional shot
90.
slip, so you're going to need a good pot here. Into the far right corner, screw back for the black. No problem.
94.
Terrific pot. And the black for the ton. Well played. Just the start any player he's looking for. Ton up.
101.
Got his hand on the table, got the Q arm going, and a century. That really. Hello. Where's the red ball going?
102.
It's one of your trick shots, John. I've seen them on Big Break.
Yeah. Trick shot like that, you might have to have a few attempts at it.
105.
Well, once he'd made the 100, really, he wasn't too
Robertson, 105.
He'd be quite happy with that. Very tentative start from Marco Fu. Cost him in the end. Neil Robertson leads 1-0.
Wide as possible, please. Thank you.
Yeah, John. We talked about Marco a little bit nervous. Now, he potted a red and got onto the brown. Just have a look at this now before he actually plays the shot. But he's just above the balk line. What, did you take the yellow or possibly the green on there?
Absolutely.
I mean,
the way the reds were spread, but
have a look at the shot he plays, though.
yeah. I presume he was trying to leave Neil hampered by the brown, but he didn't even do that. He left him a pot on.
And then, of course, he had that possible red as well into the left centre that he misses as well. And it wasn't that difficult. Okay, he's obviously worried about where the cue ball is gone, but missed it by quite some distance as well.
Yeah, you're obviously concerned with the line the cue ball is going to take, but don't miss the pot. And from there, that was end of frame. Not the start he was looking for, but the perfect start for Neil Robertson.
Second frame. Marco Fu to break.
So Marco gets frame 2 underway, and we were saying that he did very well in his first round, got way behind and fought his way back into it. He doesn't want to be doing that against a player of the stature of Neil Robertson.
Certainly not. You don't want to be giving someone like Neil Robertson a 4, 5, 6 frame start. Lovely pot. Nice play to get in around the back of the red. Got a nice little nudge on it, but very nicely on the black. He can hold for the red into the same pocket, or he can just try and nudge the red towards the pocket. Oh, wow.
Neil Robertson won.
I'm not quite sure. His body language would suggest that he got a kick there, but I'm not quite sure whether that was in the middle of the pocket in any way, John.
Black just left the bed of the table slightly.
What?
Anyway, reprieve for Marco, and a chance for him to get his hand. Look at it again. Slight bounce. Of course, you'd never expect to miss a black like that. So you're bound to blame it on something.
8.
Now, Marco's torn. Let's see what he can make of this. Nicely on pink or black here. Pink into the right centre. He can Or black into the bottom right-hand corner pocket. The red below the pink pots into the right centre.
16. $70.
Well, if he goes into the pack here, he's got to be careful. Pink is a little bit away from the red. No, decide to play for that pink below the, play for the red below the pink.
22. $23. $29. $30.
Played that nicely.
Yeah, and a perfect angle on the blue to cannon into the pink, four in the face, bring all the reds into play. I think it's worth doing. Couldn't wish for a better potting angle than this. And there it goes, and he's played it well. That red just bounces slightly off the top cushion. Good shot.
35.
And now looking at the sidebar, another 33 points from this position to clinch the second frame.
Thanks. 36.
He's got a couple of, well, the red at the bottom of the pack goes, the red to the left of the pack goes, and of course the red close to the cue ball, so doesn't have to go into any reds just yet. Oh, wow. Trying to put a little bit of left-hand side.
36.
He's got away with it, but that was an error. Just watch him move slightly. You see his head come up off the cue. Trying to get that little bit of power into the cue ball.
You won't be happy with that, Neil. That cue ball should have been tight to the baulk cushion. He's left Marco a chance now of a shot for nothing. Oh, got it a little bit too thick. It's always a funny thing when Marco missed the black off the spot. He did get away with it, but as a player you're thinking, well, thank God.
Still, I know what you mean. Would have expected Marco to win the frame from that position.
Yeah. That's a better safety shot for Neil. That's top draw, that one. That's why you need that cue ball welded to the baulk cushion. Every chance you're going to force a mistake from your opponent. Referee Jan Verhaas had a look. If it had been touching, he would have declared it. So there's no obvious path back to baulk for Neil. But there will be for Marco.
He's put himself in trouble here, Neil. He's gonna. If Marco can get a good cue ball here. That's a bit heavy, unless he gets a kiss on the brown. There's a good target up behind yellow and brown here. He can try and double the red across the table. Bring the cue ball up the left-hand side of the table, not behind the yellow and brown if you can. Nice double. The red was always going to go pretty close, and that's why he didn't put his hand up to apologise.
Neil Robertson 1.
That was an excellent roll up there from Neil. I'm certain anyone who's ever played snooker and tried that shot.
I don't like them at all, you.
No.
Never liked those shots.
That was excellently played. And may have cut off the one cushion escape. If so, it poses a little bit more of a problem for Marco.
Foul. And a miss. Neil Robertson 4.
Well, he found the one cushion escape.
Yeah.
And Neil having it replaced, he wondered whether he could pot it. And that's the problem with this. If Marco hits it, there's the line Ken drawn in. If he hits it just a little bit too hard, he could knock the red on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's a little bit afraid of, that if he hits it a bit too hard, this red could be on into the bottom right corner pocket. Oh, just well, that was a lovely shot. Lovely shot.
I think he hit it twice.
Well, if it's touching, if it's not touching, he might try and bring the black into play here. No, it didn't. It wasn't touching, of course. If it was touching, he could have knocked the black up and down the table. There you go. Once. 2 for the price of 1.
Quietly, please.
Yeah, it took me a while to work out that bog off thing. Buy one, get one free, isn't it? Not quite certain what Neil's looking at. I think he's thinking if he knocks this red in, can he hold for the pink into the opposite corner? Such a good long potter, this is his strength. Got to hold the cue ball though. Well, he didn't think he could hold for the pink, and once you play with that extra bit of pace, it makes the pot more difficult. And I don't think he's been fortunate and got away with it. He's left this red on.
One.
I would have preferred to be on yellow or brown there, Marco, because playing the green, the black is in the way off the one cushion to get back up for the reds. I'm not quite sure where he can avoid the black when potting the green. He may come around, have a look at the yellow into the... He could stretch over and maybe reach the yellow. The cue ball to pot the yellow into the left corner pocket now. Let's see, can he pot the green and just avoid the black? No, he couldn't do it.
He may still take this red on, as we see there, his attempt to try and avoid the black. He can play because if it doesn't go in, you'd think it'd be covered by the other reds. And played it positively. blue go 40 points in front, but there's still 67 remaining.
Well, I'm just wondering, will he put a colour safe here, John? Because you pot the blue, he's only going to be able to play a safety shot. He can't get back down for the red, so maybe put the blue safe. Cue ball up behind the yellow and brown, blue on the side cushion. And he's underhit that. He's very, very tentative.
5.
He's not getting through the ball this morning, not yet in any way. Well, that was a poor shot from someone of his standard.
This looks like a decent line and length. And it is, but there is a red. The one that would be in a direct line with the pink. I think Neil can get enough of this to play the pot. The problem is he may run into the blue, so needs to get it. Well, head on the side of being too thin. But because he was too thin, he's left a chance of a pot for Marco. Played that well. Funny how certain players play that shot. And watch John Higgins just say, never moves. Marco just sort of lifts up to the shot, doesn't he?
Yeah.
To inject the pace. Just watch.
Yeah, the head just comes off the cue slightly.
Yeah. But he's played that nice. And it has been said this season, the reason his form has, or his game has improved slightly is that he's bringing the cue back a little bit further. So he's getting more acceleration through the ball, and it's giving him that extra little bit of pace that everybody thought was his weakness, his Achilles heel, if you like.
Yeah, the bit of the extra cue power, and you're getting through the ball, and of course that helps when you're splitting the pack from the black as well. You just open up the reds a lot easier. Trying to get on the pink here, I feel. He's played this very nicely. He's judged that
5.
lovely. 40 points ahead, so pink and red required.
Yes, and this will relax him a little bit. He's looked a bit tentative. He's missed the black off the spot in this frame. But now, as Ken said, with just this red, he'll have the second frame on the scoreboard to his name.
11. 12.
Yeah, he'd be feeling a lot better now. And you always say, John, you never settle down until you get that first frame, and there's never a true word spoken. And particularly here at the Crucible as well, when
18.
you haven't got your, you know, it's such a difficult place to play, but this will
19.
make him feel a lot better.
Yes, on the face of it, it's very hard to pick a winner of this match. The records
25.
slightly favour Neil Robertson. He's won 6 against Marco's 5. But anyway,
25 in the frame.
that red didn't go in. Neil won't bother coming back to the table. So Marco still looks a little bit nervy, but he's got his first frame on the scoreboard. It's one apiece.
Well, let's have a look at that Miss Black from Neil Robertson. Potted a lovely long red to get in, and this is the black, John. Now, did he get a kick on this? It seemed from his body language he's suggesting he got a heavy contact. Let's see. As we plays the shot. Let's listen and see it as the black jump. Maybe slightly, but I don't think it was going to be in the centre of the pocket in any way, was it, the black?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it threw it offline. I mean, it definitely jumped, as we saw, but I don't necessarily think it threw it offline. I think because of that red that was just by the side of the black, he was wondering whether to promote that or try and get on the inside of that red to play for the red to the left. And
Third frame.
didn't throw it offline to me.
Neil Robertson to break.
It wasn't like a big jump, was it? You know, it never looked like in the middle of the pocket in any way. But anyway, it's all gone. One frame all.
Well, there's a chance here for Marco, if he can get through to the potting angle on this red. And he could. And that's the type of shot he knocks in very regular now, as he left it to the middle. The red he played. No. Well, that was a bit careless, catching the blue. Okay, may not have left a pot on, but leaving the cue ball near the baulk line. Marco, hand on the table. He'll play a better safety shot than that, you would have thought.
And looking at a lot of distance between the reds, but he knows the red may be going towards this bottom right-hand corner pocket. Would like to swing the cue ball over behind the green. Doesn't want to go on off though.
Foul. Neil Robertson 4.
It's a mistake. Anywhere down that right-hand side of the table would have put Neil Robertson in a little bit of difficulty. But now the fact that he has the cue ball in hand, this red is normally quite routine for Neil Robertson. And he can stun over for the black into the same pocket off one cushion. Oh, it's fantastic. Good cue. Didn't decide to go for the black, but beautifully cued.
Yes. And it looks as though he's got a nice angle on the blue. And I think that red just above the black is available to the, well, to either corner. Can he get on it off the blue? Depends how straight he is. Well, he could hold. And he looks as though he's on the red just above the black, and that is inch perfect. Good shot.
6. Seven. Sure.
Wanted to be a little bit straighter on this black. It would have made the cannon not to the red above the black, directly above the black, but the one to the left of the black. That's the one he wants to, just to make a little cannon on to hold for the red in the opposite pocket. Could have been a little bit better.
14.
Yeah, it's one of those shots now, particularly if he plays the red to the right corner, which is the easiest pot. He's got to run through other reds with the cue ball. Not guaranteed good position on the colour.
15.
Just about on the blue. He's got a decent line, but he's not got a lot of pace left in this cue ball, and that's the problem.
20.
When that cue ball starts to travel, it's not only about the line, you need a bit of pace into it. And at first glance, I can't see anything he's on. I'm a little bit surprised you didn't play for the red in the other half of the table. You would have thought that would have been the easier one to play on. He's playing it now, but hampered cueing, I don't know whether he can risk the pot. Trying to get to the baulk cushion behind the yellow.
Neil Robertson, 20.
Not quite. It's okay, decent enough safety shot there. And he's covered the escape route down the left-hand side of the table as we look. So, a little bit to think about here, Marco. This is not straightforward. That's his view, as you've seen. From his point of view, can't play safe down the right-hand side of the table. The blue blocking that path. So just having to play the containing safety. And in these type of situations, Neil will once again keep the cue ball down the right-hand side of the table. Because playing safe down the right-hand side of the table, there's a few awkward reds on the right-hand side cushion that he could run into. Well, he's going to play safe off one of these and try and get. The only thing is, the blues are always a big ball here. That's the line that Ken is looking at. Well, in the end, he went for the red. Risky.
One.
He's either got into that too much or not enough. Not quite sure whether he wanted to screw off the cushion or not. He's left with a tough pot.
made it look easy, didn't he? I'm just thinking as well, he's a tall lad. When he got down to play this shot, he was so close to the boarding at the side, wasn't he, where the audience are. I mean, that's the beauty of the two-table situation. If you've never been to the Crucible, you're frightened to breathe.
9.
Particularly with all the people there in the front row. There you see the two tables. But it's so close there.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room to step back and admire your work. That's
16.
not gone as planned. But I still think he's got the red to the left middle and possibly one to the right middle, but a little bit trickier than he was hoping for.
It must be one of the very few sporting occasions, John, around the world, and particularly for a world championship in any sport, where the spectators get so close
17.
to the action, you know. I can suppose think of cycling as the cyclists are going through, and but the people there in the front row, they're so close to the players. It's quite incredible. It adds to the atmosphere. It adds to the tension in the room, doesn't it? It's fantastic.
It's wonderful. And I always say to people, you know, if you've never been to the Crucible Theatre, put it on your bucket list. We're just looking at the points scored there. Neil now over the 1,000 points scored in the tournament. And now that black's gone in, he's just looking for another 17 points
31.
to get to snooker's required. Doesn't look a difficult task.
32. Sure. 39.
Black and one more red will be suffice for this frame.
$47.
Yeah, a bit short of pace, but it shouldn't be any problem. As Ken says, he only needs the red. And he's finished on the blue. And if he pots the blue and one more red, there'll be no way back to the table for Marco, who took on a risky red. I was thinking about the safety, but he did say in the pre-match interview when we heard from both players that they both like to attack and get on with it. So if that's the way you're going to play, then that's the way your mindset is. Half a chance, go for it. Cost him though. Cost him this frame.
54.
Yeah, I put a line up, I thought, when he was shaping up for the particular shot that he was initially going to play a safety. Tried to disturb two
61.
reds there.
Red book.
That was unlucky.
62.
How can he keep this break going? Brown or pink? Brown wouldn't be a bad choice. Natural angle of the cue ball would be going back down towards the reds, but pink would be a little bit easier. But he's got to move this cue ball with some pace to get it over towards the reds. Could see an amazing trick shot here. No.
62 in the frame.
Marco stays in his seat, and a nice 62 from Neil Robertson. Wins this frame, and he now leads Marco through by 2 frames to 1. Well, there you see young Corin Wilson getting ready for his match, his quarter-final match, and what a cracking match that will be against the 4 times previous world champion John Higgins. One of the up-and-coming players. And of course that match starts Tuesday over the best of 25. Should be a cracker, John.
Yeah, and he was seeing, Kyron, like we did, how well John Higgins played in that match, as did Mark Allen, the loser. So I don't blame him spending a bit of time on the practice table. It'll be a big match he's got, but he'll look forward to it, playing John Higgins at the Crucible.
Yeah, played Mark Selby here last year in the quarterfinals. Lost to the eventual winner, but
Thank you. Quietly, please.
last frame
False
now
frame.
before the interval.
Mark a foot to break.
Yeah, and just to remind you how these matches are played, 3 sessions make up the 25, 2 sessions of 8 and 1 of 9. There'll be 8 frames played in this session this morning, and they come out again this evening. You've just got to play them at a session at a time, but if you was to lose that first session 6-2, you're really up against it, aren't you? Even though it's, you know, the winning line is 13, but you get 6-2 behind, and then if you can only half the sessions after that, then you're soon looking defeat firmly in the face.
Yeah, as you say, I think most players, they come out and they play, you know, they have a target for the first 4 frames, like to try and get a 3-1 lead, and if they're 5-3 up after the first 8 or 6-2 would be a bonus. You know, I'm trying to keep it as short as that in your mind, not get too far ahead. That's the way I've always tried to approach each match that I played here at the Crucible. And even if you do lose the first session, you know, 5-3, and sometimes you might have a bad session, but you try and minimalise the damage, don't you? Even if you do have a bad session, 5-3 is not too bad.
Meanwhile, that was a good shot from Marco. He seems to have snookered Neil on all the reds. Well, if he's playing off the top cushion with a bit of pace, you've got to get this. No, he's just playing the gentle one while it's turning over. Is he going to hit the red or the black? Oh, just did well. Good shot.
Great thing about these best of 25s, and as we get on to the semi-finals and final, you know, over 4 sessions, there's so much time, you know, to make those sort of comebacks, even if you do have some bad sessions.
Well, everybody can have a bad session, whether it's due to your play or a bad run of the ball. You've just got to try and put that behind you. Decent cue ball. There's a danger of what he has left this red to the left corner, but could have been easier. Oh, solid, right in the heart of the pocket. And that's what makes Neil Robertson such a dangerous player.
Great cueing. So still on the shot. No head movement.
8.
Our usual optimistic scorer. When anyone pots a red and a black, he's looking for the maximum.
9.
And he has made 3 maximums in tournament play, has Neil? Marco's made 4.
Yeah. He made one against me once up in Scotland. Got a nice car for the maximum. That was the prize up there, the Scottish Masters.
I don't like talking about maximums
16.
to you, Ken, and cars.
No, not a good idea, John.
No. You brought it up, though. Ooh. There's a surprise. Now,
Neil Robertson.
what has he left?
60.
I think he's got away with it. Has he got it? He hasn't left this red in any way into the left-hand corner pocket. Is anything available into the left centre? And it's not. Okay, the red is close to the left-hand corner pocket, but it's not the type of shot. There's nothing there, you see, available into the left centre, but it's not the type of shot that he can swerve the cue ball around the black and pot the red. That shot is not on. So maybe just better to be a little prudent here and put that cue ball up behind the green somewhere. Try and block the path of that red that's close to this left-hand corner pocket. And he's done that, but it could have been closer to the ball cushion with the cue ball.
Yeah, that's in the last 2 frames Marco was in. I think it was the second frame when he missed the black off the spot. Didn't cost him. Neil missing when he's in. On another day you miss when you're in, and that's the end of frame. Yeah, so, well, you can see reds, but his concern is the red that's closest to the left corner, but he's got plenty of balls to cover them, the green, the blue, even the red. They're just below the blue. And if I had one slight, not a criticism, but a concern about Neil Robertson, sometimes he can get himself bogged down. And he's misjudged that completely. After all that thinking,
I think you're right, and it has been a criticism from Neil Robertson over a couple of years. Like, he's such a fluent player, and sometimes over a safety shot he may think about too many options and sort of, you know, confuse himself at times, and that's exactly what's happened. He's misjudged that there on that shot, and well, could be very costly.
1. Six.
he's looking at this red to the left corner. Obviously not got the angle on the red to the right middle to just turn it in and leave a nice angle on blue, but he's got a nice angle on that one.
7.
And he's played it nicely, and usually very, very effective in and around the black spot is Marco. It's gone wrong. Played a cannon on that red that was just above the black, didn't get into the cue ball enough. Now there's a surprise. Mind you, to be fair, I say it's a surprise, but he's not looked quite on it yet this morning.
He had such a margin for error there. Putt success, Neil Robertson 90%. Go Fu 84% putt success. Long putt success 71%. Neil Robertson. Oh, that's better. That's better.
15.
Good recovery. He got an angle on this brown. He's on the yellow, maybe slightly hampered by the green, but I think he's just got a nice angle on the brown to get out for that red into the right centre. Played it very well, and that's a very relief. Marco Fu to get back in position after that poor positional shot from the previous black.
20. $25. $26.
Another loose shot. It's unforgivable.
31.
Potting the blue to catch a bought colour. But that's what he did. And there's so much room, particularly with the yellow not being on its spot. Lucky he didn't go in off in the end. But he's run out of position. So that's two good opportunities he's had here. And not made the most of them. Well, last time he nearly recovered the situation with a tremendous pot, but not quite that time. Now we may see an example of Neil Robertson's cue power, particularly if he's straight on this red, and he looks straight. He's got a screw back for the blue. Bottom, lots of follow through.
Oh.
What a shot. And a nice kiss on the blue. Deserved it. Can't cue that much better than that. Just watch the cue ball. Zippity-doo-dah.
Six. 7. Thank you. Sure.
Not quite sure that cue ball has travelled
40.
far enough, so he could just drop the red in and hold for the black into the opposite corner pocket. Maybe just okay. Just enough. May have to play just a slight little cannon on the red just above it. Yeah.
50.
Points now all square. Black to come, and then he'll just need another 29 points, so that really equates to 4 more reds. 3 of them nicely
22.
in the middle of the table, shouldn't be a problem. So he's going to need one of the reds near the side cushion with a colour.
23.
Yeah, doing the maths, checking the scores. And the red on the left-hand side of the table, of course, will be no problem. The one that's close to the cushion near this left-hand corner pocket, that shouldn't be a problem for a left-hander. So Marco may have missed a trick here. Had a really good
30.
opportunity, but the ball's at his mercy.
$38. $39.
Nicely on the black now. He can just push the cue through nicely. Pot the black and get right behind this red on the left-hand side cushion.
Red and a colour needed.
46.
Like to have been a little bit closer to the side cushion. He may screw back for the blue, and the reason I say that, if he screws back for the blue, he can get the cue ball away from the cushion. And red and blue would do.
47.
And this blue would put him 37 points in front with just 35 remaining. There you see it, 1 snooker needed.
52.
If he rolls this red in, he'll be on the black, and that should see Marco not coming back to the table, and I'm sure it won't now.
53.
Mid-session interval coming up. And Neil Robertson will be certainly the happier of the two.
60.
He's won, if you like, the
62.
first mini-session of the match. 3 frames to 1 in just over an hour. 4 frames, just over an hour, that's pretty quick.
Neil Robertson.
Green
62.
doesn't go in, but that won't matter. Both players. Marco will be a bit disappointed, he's not really settled yet. That won't bother Neil Robertson. The Australian leads 3 frames to 1.
As quiet as possible, please. Thank you.
Players are back after the mid-session interval, and let's put a lot of water in those bottles. I've noticed when they have a take the top off. They always sip the first bit.
Thank you. Frame 5. Neil Robertson to break.
4 more frames to be played in this session. Decent break off. Been quick fire snooker. Average frame time, just over 15 minutes. And the average shot time, that's good. And 91% Neil Robertson pot success, 85% for Marco. That needs upping a bit. Long pot success. And I'm not certain he played the pot there. I'm not sure though. Neil was trying to creep that cue ball in behind the black, but I think he's just left it short. I think Marco can just get through to the red on the left hand side of the table. So that's a bit careless from Neil. Good pot.
1.
Okay, he's a bit close to the cushion, but we fully expected Neil to have got that cue ball behind the black. Played that nicely. And he's on the red, immediately above the black.
6. Seven. 14. $15.
Well, John, during the interval, I was in the practice room. Marco came in with Wayne Griffiths as coach. Didn't see Neil in there. Marco obviously not happy with the first session and wanted to just pot a few balls, just
22.
try and loosen up a little bit.
$23.
Not certain if the pink will go on its own spot. There is a red immediately below the pink that I think will go to the right corner. But he couldn't be certain that that red wasn't going to be tied up. But no hesitation from Jan Verhaas. First refereed here, you know, in 1995, Jan. Been a professional referee for 25 years. And one of the
29.
best, it has to be said.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
$30.
Just lost the cue ball a fraction there. May tempt him into playing the cannon. Cannon the pink, if you like. And that will bring reds into play. But don't miss the black.
Marco Fu. 30.
Just another little bit of evidence of the nervousness of Marco Fu at the moment. Just hasn't got that cue ball on a string, what we normally see from him. Kissed the brown in the previous frame that cost him. Marco went going in and out of ball from the blue. Good chance to build up some points there. Now what can Neil Robertson do? Oh, it's a tremendous shot. He really got through that ball so well, didn't he?
You can't hit a ball much better than that. Beautifully played.
Eight.
And play for pink or black here.
Nine. Yep.
He's not really perfect on either, as it turns out. You'd think black would be the choice. Only one loose red, the one on the left-hand side of the table to play for. Would it be too risky to play the cannon? Well, if he's hampered over the red, then I think he'll just content himself with rolling this black in and playing for that loose red.
Yeah, judged it nicely. Would have possibly liked to be a bit straighter, but he can go up
16.
for the blue from this red. Just having a look to see if those 3 balls in a line are a plant into this bottom left-hand corner pocket. Looks pretty close.
Yeah, that would help, wouldn't it?
17.
Looks dead on to me.
Yeah, as long as any of those reds aren't touching each other, it should be okay. Sometimes if they're touching each other, they can throw the last red offline, but he obviously would have checked that. Potting this will certainly split all the reds into play, you would feel. Yeah, there you see it. It's worked out a treat. Nicely played. Held for the blue. Could play a little cannon on the reds here to hold the cue ball if he wishes. He's thinking about taking the brown, but now he's going for the yellow. Of course he is blessed with tremendous cue power. These type of shots are just, he can play with consummate ease.
25.
Still 5 points behind, so if you're going to win the frame at this visit, you're going to need that awkward red near the right-hand side cushion.
26.
There's always that one red, isn't it? Seems to be, anyway.
Just looking at the position of the pink, John, I know it's going to be a few shots away, but should he get on one of those reds around the pink spot, leave the pink where it is, and get a nice angle from the pink to knock that red out, and I'm sure that's what's going through his mind.
Well, he's coped with that well. That's one that could have gone slightly wrong, but it's okay. He's on the red to the corner.
33.
Still up for the blue.
$34.
This will put him 9 points in front. And the 3 open reds, 3 blacks would only put him 33 points in front with 35 left. That's why he will definitely need the red near the side cushion. And being
39.
a left-hander, it's the wrong side for him. So it's not straightforward.
Yeah, maybe if you can take this red into the bottom right-hand corner pocket, go up for the blue, and then take the red that's on the pink spot.
40.
Now, if he gets on the red on the pink spot, he can pot that red after this blue, of course, and leave the nice angle on the pink, because I think that pink is in a perfect position for him to knock that red out off the side cushion. Now he's coming around to have a look.
Yeah, the only thing that would concern me, and I can't really tell, where does the pink go?
Well, no, when he takes this, he puts this blue and takes the red off the pink spot, then takes the pink, and then he should be. Now he's got to get in somewhere. I put a very small circle up, but
45.
somewhere within that vicinity, just as long as he has a nice angle on this pink.
Yeah, and he can't refuse this opportunity to try and remove that awkward red.
46.
But you're never guaranteed to have position. So he played just a little bit of pace. Want to catch that red half ball if he can. Oh, that'll do nicely. That will do ever so nicely. Could not have worked out better.
52.
Beautifully played. Took a little bit of working out, but you know, people would always ask you how many shots are players thinking ahead, and sometimes it might be 2, sometimes it might be 3 or even 4, John. And I think in that particular case, he knew exactly where the pink was. He was thinking maybe, you know, 4 shots ahead there at one stage.
Yeah, absolutely. It's only when the red's
Stand still,
nicely open that you just concentrate on leaving yourself a nice potting angle on each ball and just take one ball at a time. But there, he worked it out nicely. And now just this red required to go 31 points in front.
60.
With just 27 remaining.
61.
Although it's the first session, Ken, a little bit worrying for Marco.
Yeah, a bit nervy right from the beginning. Okay, he won that second frame, but he's had his chance here in this frame. Had his chance in the 4th frame, the one just before the interval.
63. 65.
Robertson certainly looks in good form.
68.
Up to 93 now. Pot success, and Marco has still got to get up or close
72.
to 90%, you feel. And this is good for Neil Robertson. 22 seconds a shot at the moment, average time. This to me is when he's at his best. Free flowing, tremendous potter and break builder.
83.
Well, Marco had good chances in that frame, but in the end it was Neil Robertson who ran out with a break of 90. And he now goes 3 clear, 4-1. And that's the CV of Neil Robertson. And that Riga Masters that he'd won this season was, it must seem a long way ago. It was the first tournament of the season. But I think you'll agree, Ken, that when we come to the World Championship, Crucible Theatre, and these longer matches, this is a real test of a player's mettle. Some of these best of sevens, toss of a coin, really.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a true test, and of course the one that they all measure their season on, even if they, you know, sometimes players who come to the World Championship, they may have won a couple of the smaller tournaments or even some of the bigger tournaments, but they always gauge how they do with the World Championship. If they don't have a decent World Championship, they feel their season was not as good as it could have been.
This is careless. Things not going too well for Marco at the moment, it has to be said. He may have left a pot on here. There's a line of 3 just below the pink. I think the middle one may just go to the right corner. Maybe not. Well, maybe yes. Beautifully picked out. He's going to finish nicely on the yellow.
1.
Well, another couple of rolls. I thought maybe it was touching the other end and wouldn't go, but Neil went for it.
Neil Robertson won.
I suppose in a way he was lucky not to be on the yellow. Just an inch or 2 short of pace. Now, because the reds are loose, no guarantee here that Marco can hit one and not leave a pot on, particularly with that red to the left of the blue, adjacent to the left middle pocket. So not guaranteed to get this safe. Decided to rest on that one, but he's overhit it. And there's definitely a pot on this red that's closest to cue ball, but is there another one? I can't see another red that will pot. This definitely pots the one closest to cue ball into the right middle.
Yeah, he's shaping up though, I think, into the green pocket here, try and get on the black.
More difficult pot, but more reward should it go in. Chance missed.
Hasn't left anything easy. This red into the green pocket looks very, very straight. Mr. Marco's not blessed with the same amount of cue power that Neil Robertson has, so to try and pot that and screw it, the cue ball up towards the blue or even for a ball colour would prove very difficult for Marco.
That's quite a clever shot, that. He's left the cue ball and the red in the balk area, square on, so to speak. So it's not going to be easy for Neil to play a telling safety shot off the red. And it's the only red he can play, really. Well, if he's covered the red with the yellow, that's an excellent shot. He's looked good this morning. Giving this plenty of thought. Problem is, if he tries to play the safety back to the balk end, he could leave a very easy safety shot. As I say, the last time he left the cue ball square on with the red. Is he taking the pot on here? He did, and played it well. Could never guarantee having good position. He knew it was running into other reds. And he just flicked that red, and that's why he didn't catch the third one full in the face. If he had have done, he'd have been on the black.
Green ball.
He's got to cover that red near the ball line.
Marco Fu.
And hasn't done it. So easy safety for Neil. Send the red up the table. Get that cue ball tight to the baulk cushion. On the face of it, got an easy safety shot. The only thing that would concern him slightly, he doesn't want to hit it too thick and maybe run into the green. And he doesn't seem to be wanting to play this pot on this red. So, using his cue power once again. But when you play that shot, you're never certain where the balls are going to finish. And the worst possible outcome for Neil, he's left the red right over the corner pocket. Hitting them at that pace, Ken, you never know, you can never be sure.
No, and you know, the odds are against you. Of course, you've got two pockets and you've got so many reds that one of them is bound to go very, very close. And that's exactly what's happened. And he's trying to play, oh, this would be an interesting shot if he tries to play a little cannon on the red just to the right of the black there. Try and hold for the black. Oh, has he played it well? Maybe the pink is on into the left centre. It was a good effort. If the pink is on, he'll definitely take it on. I think it is. But he's got to get it. If he misses this, could cost him the frame. Bit of pressure. Well played. Well played. There's a bit of pressure on that one, and he kept still on the shot as long as he could. He knew the importance of it. Now can he get on the black here? There is a little cannon that he can play when potting this red. He can pot this red and just play a delicate little cannon onto the red, just to the right of it, and it will hold the cue ball for the black into the opposite pocket. Yeah, that's okay.
80.
And if the red to the right of the black will go into the same pocket as the black, well, I don't think it does. No, it doesn't. That's where you feel Marco really has to win this frame in one visit, just for his own bit of confidence and eradicate those early match nerves.
16.
We've been quite evident so far this morning.
Yeah, got into that one a bit too much. Play for the blue, not the green. And he's not really recovered ideal position here. And he's usually so good in and around the black spot area, but his timing's just not there this morning, and that can only be a little bit of tension in the cue arm.
Yeah, wanted that cue ball to travel at least another 8 or 10 inches for the red that's on the pink spot. He's got this red into the right centre. Should be okay to try and, but he must get top side of the blue here. Well, he's purposely played
20
on this side of the blue, but we saw in the previous frame, the last frame before the interval, he cannoned the brown. That was out of position. He's played this one a lot better. Much better shot. Well played.
25. $26. $33.
No, can he? If he can't get through to this red just to the right of the black, he's going to have to go up for the blue.
$34.
Got there just found the nice angle on the blue. But once again, another poor positional shot. He wanted to be straight on this red to the right
39.
corner, could have rolled it in and been nicely on the black. This is not the red he played for. Just 21 points shy of Snooker's required.
40.
Got the red, but this time not got the angle on the blue. Looks to be very straight. He's making hard work of this. Yep. Not much room to play with there. On the blue line.
$45. $46.
Yeah, again, good pot. Slightly lost the cue ball. He's got to play this blue cue ball off top cushion, side cushion, out for one of those reds near the below the pink spot, just above the black. This looks pretty good. Now he has a nice angle, 51 ahead there, you see it, 67 still remaining.
51.
So red and black, and I think he can get on the black here. He's got a nice angle, he can just stun across this face of the black. Oh, he's played 52. That very well. Very nicely done. And he has struggled through this break for position, but eventually he's kept
59.
going. Done very, very well to keep this break going.
Yes, and 60. That red now means Snooker is required. But yeah, I agree. Ken, there was once or twice when, and I'm certain Neil Robertson in his chair would have thought a good chance of getting back to the table here. But he's been pulling out some good pots. And this will make him feel an awful lot
67.
Better. And every possibility of a century break here.
68.
As long as you get to 73 when you come to the colours, which was valued at 27 points, you'll make 100. He's only had one so 75. Far in the match, but of course he had that scare against the Belgian bullet,
76.
Luca Bracel, and I think he was more concerned about trying to get through that round, Ken, than making hundreds.
Yeah, he made a lot of big breaks, but just only one century. But, you know, we said at the start of this match, both players, you know, Mark has got over 400 centuries. Neil made his 500th century this week. I think we're going to see quite a few centuries in this match, maybe 4 or 5.
This will be a little bit of a milestone. If he can make the 100 here, it'll be his 450th competitive century. And he looks to be perfect on the green. He's played this well.
93.
Good shot. So, green and brown, and it'll be the 43rd century, 44th, we've already had 43, and the record is 83. Sorry, 86.
You'll get it right
96.
Eventually.
Of course I will. Give me enough time.
Well played.
I can see the record centuries being beaten this year. As I say, it was equal last year at 86, and now with this break we're just over the halfway towards that target.
111.
And he's done very well here, as Marco. Lost the cue ball on numerous occasions, but didn't let it come off. But in the end, it was a lovely break of 118. He'll be feeling an awful lot better. Neil Robertson was sat in his chair for almost all of that frame. Still leads though, 4-2.
As quiet as possible, please.
Well, he certainly got a lot of interest created in Hong Kong, as is Neil Robertson, Australia. I'm surprised, a little bit surprised, there's not been another Australian player come through. Of course, we're blessed with Eddie Charlton and quite a few, but no Australians seem to be coming through at the moment, but plenty from the Far East. Just have a look at this shot that cost Neil the last frame. Decided he didn't want to play the pot, thought he'll run this red into the pink, screw the cue ball back to the baulk end, but he didn't envisage a red going over the corner. Now, all right, on another day,
frame 7.
it might have dropped in,
Neil Robertson.
but not today. So this frame and one more will conclude this first session of this match. And you would feel that Marco Fu would have settled down a little bit after that nice break. And after that last break, he's now up to 90%. He was languishing down at 84%. And Marco, from that little piece we saw, Ken, is in favour of the shot clock
Yeah.
at all tournaments.
Not sure how that would work, but
Well, it wouldn't work.
no. Okay. Whatever you say, John.
If it ain't broke, that's what they say.
Don't fix it.
Just the pace kept that out, really. You can see with that pace the way the ball bounces off the table. So a chance for Neil. And of course Neil will be well aware that if he was to win this frame, would be bound to have at least a 2-frame advantage going into the second session this evening. It's a funny thing, when we first started doing the Crucible
Quietly,
Theatre,
please.
the average frame time was somewhere in the region of about 28 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, but now I think the average frame time for a normal match, this one's just under 16 minutes, would it be about 18 or 19 minutes? Now that's quick enough.
Yeah.
I don't
6.
see why you should have to restrict people to have, say, 30 seconds to think about every shot, because some shots are more difficult than others. And as I say that, a very unexpected
Robertson,
miss
6.
from Neil. Very unexpected. Just put a little bit of left-hand side on that and push the cue ball into the red. That's why he caught it too thick.
Do you think it'd be a good idea to not have a shot clock, but have sort of players' average shot time documented more, so the public know and the players are more aware of it? And if they're more aware of it, then they're more conscious to speed up. If they, if you have a sort of a table from the fastest to the slowest.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, the referee has the authority to tell a player to quicken up. It's not used, but I remember years ago it was used with the likes of Dean Reynolds, got warned quite a few times. Tony Mio, I remember he being warned for taking too long over shots. So the referees
Has to be strong.
Yeah, they have to be strong. We gave them the miss rule to play
6.
with. They're not weak on that.
Someone who is a strong referee is Jan Verhaas. We've been trying to encourage some of the referees, because I've been having some chats with him about this, trying to encourage some of the referees to be a little bit stronger. But there you,
Marco Fu 6.
well, he's shaking his head and he knows that was another fantastic chance to score a lot of points. Very disappointed with that.
And looks like there's a gap. You never know from Marco's facial expressions, but he'll be sat there seething, I would imagine. He can pot this. Put a trace of left-hand side on it. I wouldn't like to play one red onto the other because there's no certainty. This red is not right over the hole, but there's a gap. Don't know what he's thinking about here.
I think the good thing, if he does play the bottom red on the cushion, John, just it would get that red away from the top cushion, you know, it would make life easier for him. But as you said, the red is not exactly in the lip of the pocket.
I think what's putting him off here, that there's definitely a gap. I'm not certain he wants to play for the black. But in the end, he had no choice but to play for the black. I don't understand why, particularly if he's straight on this black. This is a tough pot. Certainly not got the best potting angle on it.
Yeah, you're right.
8.
Tried to move that red off the top cushion into a potable position, but hasn't worked out, and that's looks like end of break.
Robertson 8.
Marco Fu will be coming back to the table mighty relieved, having missed a red when he was in like that to only cost him 8 points.
Let's have a look at these two reds. Not quite sure whether he can make these into a plant. Well, it's very tight, isn't it? But he may be able to squeeze that second red past the red that closest to the pocket there in that line. This could go in. Yes, it could go in indeed. Very well worked out. And is he on the green into the left centre? He certainly is. He's got to take this green on.
Four. Five.
Nicely on the blue. And I think this red just above the black is available. So that would be a nice red to get on. And clear the black somewhat.
Played that nicely. He's
10.
got on that red. Would have preferred to just be a bit straighter on this red. You could just screw back and have the black into the same pocket.
11.
Oh,
Yep.
you saw the cue ball bounce, but I think he's just okay.
I think it might have worked to his advantage. Not often a kick does, and you saw the
70.
heavy contact, but he's nicely on this red as it turns out. And if he doesn't get the heavy contact, this red is playing now, he'd have been lower on it and would have had a bit more work to do with the cue ball. It's finished perfect.
18.
A lucky kick. Yeah, took that opportunity to open those two reds. 17
25.
points the lead now. Definitely a frame-winning opportunity, this.
26.
Still looking for another 28
32.
points. But it minds his work. You certainly fancy him to... Well, I said if he minds his work.
Marco
I mean, I know he's trying to
32.
pinch a bit of the pocket to retain good position on the pink, but schoolboy error missing the red. Trying to hold for the pink, but don't sacrifice the pot.
Yeah, didn't leave anything easy for Neil. Neil had a possible red into the right centre, but look, thought it was, the angle was too cute, but that's not the best safety shot he's ever played. Oh, wow. What's he left this time?
Though they say there's no two frames or no two games of snooker alike, as we watched this misread from Marco. We were commentating on John Higgins' Mark Allen match last night. Every time anyone made a mistake, the other guy cleared up. It's not happening in this match so far. Chances coming thick and fast for both players. But all those mistakes that Marco has made in this frame will be put behind him if he can now win the frame after that wonderful long pot. So easy to forget your errors if you win the frame.
Yeah, never easy to forget though, should you lose it from a simple error.
6.
Even though he has been a bit edgy this morning, if you can somehow manage to win this frame and cut the deficit to 1, he'll be absolutely delighted.
You see, 33 ahead, so that equates. You need at least 3 more reds, with depending what value colours he gets with it. So it's not a formality to get over the line here. Red along the top cushion. If it's tight to the top cushion, you think he'd play for it. Well, I don't think he's any option but to play for it. The potting angle he's gone on the black. He's left a nice angle. Well, I say a nice angle, probably a bit more angle than he wanted.
17.
Still needs red colour, red. But it's tight. You wouldn't expect him to miss this. When they're tight, look how they cling.
You can see the red coming off the cushion slightly, but it still clings back, almost like it's hugging the cushion. Plenty of room behind this red to pot it into the left centre.
25.
He's 49 points ahead, 51 remaining, so just this red. And it'll cut the deficit to 1. Well played, Marco Phil. He's had a couple of bites at the cherry, but he's managed to win it in the end. Big last frame now for both players.
32.
Robertson would certainly feel that he's dominated
33.
most of this session and may come out of it all square. Should Marco win this last frame? It's amazing how the psychology can swing back and forth
38.
between players.
39.
Yeah, this has been the longest frame of the match so far, which isn't slow by any means. But I agree with you. I think this last frame of this session is quite an important one, because just looking at the
46.
way both players have played, I think Neil Robertson would be very disappointed if he came out all square. I think it would certainly be Marco who would psychologically
48.
would have the edge. He's not played at his best, he knows that.
Yeah, and from a Marco
51.
Fu's point of view, even if he does lose the last frame and falls 5-3 behind after the first session. He won't be too disappointed after the start he had.
55. $60.
Well, quite a way
60
away
and
with
a
the
frame.
pink, but it didn't matter. The frame was well over before that. So Neil Robertson, he led 4-1. He's now only one in front, 4-3. So, yeah, big frame. Played some very poor safety shots, Neil, in the last couple of frames.
Yeah, he has in his custom. The one where he split the pack and screwed back into the bulk area, left the red over the pocket and left Marco long red into the green pocket there, which he duly obliged. And yeah, it's completely swung around Marco. I mean, Neil Robertson looked in complete control, didn't he, at 4-1? Possibly had a couple of chances even to go 5-1, but since then, Marco Fu has got himself together a little bit because he was very edgy at the beginning of this match.
Yeah, and looking at the two players there, as I say with Marco, it's very hard to read anything in, but Neil doesn't look too happy to me. And he'll be disappointed, particularly if he was to lose the last frame of this session.
So here we go, frame 8.
Thank you, the final frame of the session.
25.
Marco Fu to break.
Final frame of this session. These players will resume this evening. Who's going to be the happier of the two players?
Quite a way away with that attempted pot. He's usually very strong on that type of shot. Nowhere near that one. Bit pacey.
Could be in trouble here, John. Roll up behind the blue, knock the red down towards the pink and reds, and try and get him as tight behind this blue as possible. Oh my, what happened there?
Just hit it straight on, didn't he? But he may not have left anything. Missed an opportunity, though, as you say, to put his opponent in trouble.
I'm not quite sure whether that cue ball actually rolled off or it was just the bit of side that Marco Fu was imparting on. Doesn't want that brown going in.
Excellent safety shot that from Marco. One of his better ones this morning. Is there a gap? There's always a gap. Good return that from Neil. Excellent.
Thank you. Nice now, please.
If it misses the yellow, it'd be good, but catching the yellow leaves the cue ball on the baulk line. It's got this long red, straight red into the left corner. He just checks to see whether the black's available. Of course, you always have the brown over the far right corner. Well, I'm very surprised he played it like that. Okay, he's got a good cue ball back to the baulk end, but that just makes the pot doubly difficult.
Yeah. Could have stunned it anywhere up the left-hand side cushion there, and he would have been on the brown. Half chance for Neil Robertson. This red down just below the pink, pots into this bottom right-hand corner pocket. It's a natural angle back up towards the baulk area. Yeah, so good at those type of shots. And of course wasn't using any force or power there, could just like cue it nicely.
Not the best chance, but there's a few open reds, pink in the open, and blue on its spot. And that little flick on the pink. There's no hindrance.
5.
Yeah, he sort of wanted to put the cue ball in an area, anywhere around that pink spot area.
6.
There's plenty of options. That red into the middle, the few reds into this bottom right hand corner pocket as well will pot. No, good chance to make a nice break here. Important for Neil Robertson to go into
11.
the next session with at least the lead. Particularly the way he's played this morning. Just lost his way for a couple of frames, but good chance now to re-establish that 2-frame advantage.
Yeah, both players
80.
in this first session have unexpectedly missed pots. You would never expect them to miss. That can just gnaw away at your
90.
confidence. But he seems to have built up a nice head of steam here, the Australian. The reason he's paused is because he's too straight on the pink. If he had a slight angle, either way, he'd have just got down and knocked the pink in. But he's just considering which is the best red to play for.
$25.
I think he decided to play for one to the right middle, but he should have been just slightly the other side of straight on this.
26.
And it's cost him good position. He's not ideal on this pink. So just a bit careless of the positional shot there. But he's rolled the pink in nicely. Having to leave a mid-range red, and funnily enough, this is the type of shot that he
32.
missed in an earlier frame. Hit it too thick the last time, but no problem with that
33.
one. And that cluster of reds around the black, the top one will go to the right corner. If he pots that, he'll release one to the left corner, so he's back in prime position.
Sure.
There's his target,
39.
68. And as you said, when he puts this, John, it releases the one to the left of it. And also, I'm sure the one just above the black as well puts
40.
into the left-hand corner pocket. So the two reds above the black pot into this left-hand corner pocket.
Yeah, but how careless was that to leave himself the wrong angle on the pink? He should have been straight on it. Well, obviously this one just below and to the left of the black goes.
46.
Just keeps losing the cue ball a fraction.
$47.
Now lost it completely. He's not perfect on this pink at all. He's making hard work of this.
No. What he's saying,
he
that
can-
rolled off.
rolled
But
it.
I don't think so.
Full
I
net.
don't think he hit that well at all.
He can put his arm out as much as he like, but you could see it was just snowballing, wasn't it? He kept running out of position, not being on the ball he wanted to play on. I mean, they don't roll off that much.
One.
Just never got. It all started when he didn't get straight on that pink. As you said, it was a careless shot. He just needed to be straight on the pink for the two reds above the black into the opposite corner pocket. And
now, did this roll off? As I say, they don't
not
normally
having that,
roll it.
John.
No, I mean, maybe he put a little bit of unintentional side on the cue ball and it may have just turned the pink. He doesn't want to kiss. Well, he's still on the red, but the kiss was not what was needed
6.
there.
Yeah. As we see it again, he's trying to avoid all contact with those reds. He's trying to get on these two reds above the black.
7.
If you can get on the loose one that's above the black with a nice angle, he can possibly pot that and bring the black into play. He's having a look at maybe going straight into the reds. He was contemplating of playing that shot from the blue, going into the red just that's closest to the black. But he doesn't have to. There's two loose reds available. He's taking the chance. Now, how's his luck? It's not bad. It's not too bad.
12.
Nicely played. Purposely tried to hit that red and played it very well.
13.
The fact that he's 34 points behind, that tough yellow will come into play if he gets that far from this break. Oh, he's over. Hit this. What's he done here?
Yeah,
80.
as Neil Robertson before him, they've just not got complete control of this cue ball. You can only, and I said it earlier, a little bit of tension in the cue arm Doesn't want the kiss
90.
on the brown. Well, it's not too bad a flick on the brown, but he's got to get this cue ball travelling. So much easier if you get your nice position, then all you have to do is just roll the ball in, make the next shot easy. He's still
22.
not out of the woods yet. Need his little extension. $25 points behind now. We potted it, but he's not good on the black.
Yeah, but I wonder will he take the opportunity now, John? He's got a nice angle on the black, although it's trying. Get up. Oh, there's the possible choice. Try and get up to that red on the right hand side cushion. Get in behind it. Could have done with hitting it a little bit harder, but he's
30.
okay. Yeah.
31.
People in the front row there knew it was in before we did. But it's not ideal. Too straight on this black. May just pot it, try and play a snooker on the red. You gotta keep your head down on those, Marco. Every time he lifts his head,
38.
watch him lift the head a little bit. There you see it, the back arm coming up. Almost missed that.
Yeah, he was trying to pinch a bit, but not that much. And oh, he thought he'd missed
39.
that. He thought he'd missed that. You watch his body. Never mind the red. He thought he'd missed it.
How did it drop?
Gravity.
I knew you'd say that.
Yeah, look from behind. He thought he'd hit it too thin. But he's too straight on the black. And as we've mentioned before, he's got a lovely touch, Marco, in and around the balls, but he's not blessed with the most cue power. So for him to play a deep screw with lots of right-hand side to get up to the baulk cushion, it's not in his armoury.
He's contemplating about taking the pink off the side cushion, leaving the yellow there, not going for this black at all. He's got a couple of options. He can just pot the black and try and play a safety on the yellow, but the difficulty will be playing a good safety from where the position of the yellow is now. He's having a look at the score, so what's going through his mind is he's thinking about, well, I need that pink into play. Bring it out into the middle of the table. Put Neil under a bit of pressure. Let him take the yellow off the top cushion. Now, that's very well
13.
worked out. I think he's got the snooker. Has he on the green? Maybe used as a blocker. Pink out in the open. It's one of those incidents, John, the 7 points for the pot and the black, it didn't really make much of a difference.
Well, a good effort. He couldn't do a lot else because he could only see just half of the yellow. Big frame now. Both players have had chances, so whoever loses it will feel a little bit aggrieved. Not quite the snooker. but possibly the edge with Marco. He can get through to the potting angle of this yellow. He may have to play the pot because it's one of those situations. I don't see a safety here. Well, fair play to him. He did. And that could be a telling one. He's got the snooker. And the snooker at this stage of a frame can give you a big, big advantage. He's got to hit this and try and get it safe. This is a big swerve he's trying here. Problem is with playing that swerve, you don't get any pace into the object ball, and he's left this yellow.
Two.
Couldn't get as close as he wished to the green, but this is a big shot here. Played that very nicely indeed.
Five.
And now the fact that a few shots ago when he brought that pink into play could prove dividends.
Yeah, last two frames are just beginning to stretch out in time. This one, the first one, over 20 minutes. But it's a big one. Oh, he's played this nicely. Well, maybe it's just a little bit too pacey, but he got a good line. I'll tell you what, if the blue had been on its spot, it'd have been ideal. But he still needs a good pot on the blue, and remember, he needs the pink as well.
Good shot on the blue. How is he on the pink? Cue ball needs to slow down 14. A little bit. Not ideal, but he has a chance of it. It pots into the left centre, it pots into the bottom right left-hand corner pocket.
Yeah, you'd favour the left corner because you can send the cue ball to the baulk end. We'll know before he does. Ooh, he was up and out of that very quick, wasn't he?
14.
He's done that a couple of times in this frame.
As soon as he hit it, he knew. Oh, and Neil has gifted him the frame. And Neil once again saying that, or intimating the table rolled off. This pink to square the match. And then it goes. Well, Neil Robertson will be very, very disappointed. He led 4-1 and had chances to stretch further. And I think that tongue out from Marco Fu shows you how relieved he is. They finished the first session. Interesting, but all square. Disappointment for Robertson, delight for Fu. And if you come back at 2:30, reigning champion Mark Selby against Xiao Gudong. Second session of that. Look forward to your company then. Bye for now.